Hello everyone, welcome to part 3 of how to crochet this Irish lace collar. In part 2 we looked at how to complete the motif. In part 1 we looked at just doing the first 2 rows of the petals. So today I'd like to show you how you actually join the motifs together, because that's the next step. And you basically don't complete round or row 7. You work as you go with this. So I'll show you, this is the incomplete motif, and we ended just here on the last video, and I suggested that you could slip stitch up the side if you wished, or you can actually fasten off. So if you chose to make all the motifs you required ahead of doing your complete collar or edging or whatever it is you decide to make, it might be an idea to complete all the motifs and just fasten off at the bottom here where we slip stitched into a little single crochet. If I just zoom in slightly for you. So just do a little, you've done your slip stitch, and now anchor it with another little stitch and just fasten off. It does involve a little bit more weaving in, but not to worry. So there you've actually finished off. And if you were to make, I needed 7 for the collar I made. So if you were to complete another 6 of these, then you'd have them all ready to join in. Okay, so what I'll do now, I'll just pause the video, weave this in and get back to you. On second thoughts, I thought it might be helpful to just show you how I do weave in. So I always like to hide the threads where I've got quite a nice little row of stitches at the base. So all I would do, because you're coming from the back, just do some loose little stitches and weave your way down one, just gently, and tuck your needle under those stitches at the base. Gently does it. There we go. And then I'd perhaps go straight to the end of here. And then just work back, perhaps jump over one just to secure it more. Because it's at the back, it doesn't matter if it's not perfect. And then just tuck it in behind these. Again, don't pull tightly or you'll distort your other stitches. And then just snip the thread. Just slightly nudge those stitches back and as close as you can without snipping the ones underneath. And there you've completed your motifs. Now what you'd need to do is join your thread in the first space of any of these little petals. So we'll go ahead and you can join whichever way you wish. I just tend to do a little slip stitch onto the hook. There we go. And then pick up my work and do a little standing single crochet there. And that's absolutely perfect for what we need to do now. So in order to join the motifs together, we join them with some little picots, but to start with, we need to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we do a slip stitch in the 3rd chain from the hook. Sorry, it's a single crochet in this pattern, I do beg your pardon. Right, so you've done your little picot, and now you need to chain 2, and what we're going to do, we're going to lay these flat so you can see where we need to go to join. So it doesn't matter on here, wherever you choose, as long as the rose motifs are facing up, it asks you in the pattern into the corresponding loop, and we call this the 2nd motif and this the 1st. We need to do a single crochet into the corresponding loop. So what we're actually doing here, just this bit here, is making another loop, but we need to link it in to this loop. And you can see the little crown, which I like to call it, they're directly opposite each other. So you now, with the wrong sides together, will do into this corresponding loop here a single crochet. And that's the start of the join. Now what we need to do on the 1st motif is to complete that loop. And to do that, we need to chain 4 and single crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and single crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook. On the previous videos, I have twisted my hook round, and you can continue doing that. It's however you wish to do it. And then after you've done this little picot, you chain 1 and you miss a space on this little crown on your 1st motif. Miss that space, and into this space do a single crochet. Sorry. There you go. You do a single crochet in there. And there we've just joined into the 1st loop on the 2nd motif, and now we need to make a join into the 2nd loop on this 2nd motif here. And to do that, we repeat chaining 3, 1, 2, 3, and doing a single crochet into that 1st chain, chaining 2, 1, 2, finding our 2nd loop on this 2nd motif, which is just there, wrong sides together again, and into that loop between your picots you do a single crochet. Then you repeat your 4 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, into the 3rd chain from the hook you do a single crochet. Just checking I've gone under both. I like to go under 2 loops when I do picots. Doesn't seem to. Right. There we go. And now a single crochet and chain 1. Now here you can see on your 1st motif you have a space here. You don't go into that space now to join. You go into the big space between the petals, and this is on the first motif, and this little joining picot loop you made to join the petals together, you pop your hook just before that picot, so your single crochet will just sit there before that little picot. Okay, so if we have a little look what we've done now, you can see that this is where we joined on motif 1, and we've done our little picot loops, joined in to this loop here, completed our loop on motif 1 just there, and then done another picot, a single crochet into this loop here, and then in the corresponding little picot loop that joins the petals together on motif 1, we've done a single crochet. It is quite complicated if you've not done this before, but not to worry, we can have a little look at this again. And I think as long as you know to put your motifs wrong side to wrong side, you'll not go too far wrong. I've just been opening it and showing you because, you know, to let you know exactly where you need to go. And that's a little effect it gives you. And then for the rest of this round, you work exactly the same way as you did on this row 7 in your first motif. And if you remember, that was with a series of double picot in a loop. Okay, so we'll just do one to let you see how to do that. And here we do chain 3, 1, 2, 3, insert your hook in your first stitch, chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then insert your hook in the 5th or the 3rd chain from your hook, do a single crochet and chain 1. And then in the very first space on your next petal, you do a single crochet. You make another picot, 1, 2, 3, insert your hook in the first stitch, single crochet or the 3rd chain from your hook, 7 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 3 chains from your hook, insert your hook and do a single crochet, chain 1, and then you skip a space on your petal, and into this next space you do a single crochet, then chain 3, a little picot, single crochet, chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and in the 3rd chain from the hook, insert your hook and do another single crochet and then chain 1. And then you don't work into this last space here, you go into the space, the next space before this little joining chain with the picot, just before the little picot. And then you carry on as before. You're making these double little picot loops into the tops of these crowns on the petals, Okay, so you continue that all the way round, and then I'll meet you back here. Okay. Okay, so you can see we're almost at the end where we joined the motifs together. So I'm going to now do here on this last little joining loop between the petals, a single crochet, just come a little closer, there we go, do our final picot chains. And now we do 7 chains. Let's just check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. And then the 3rd chain from your hook, a single crochet, 1 chain, and then you're going to join where you single crocheted into this very first space on the top of your petal. So a little slip stitch in that first single crochet you made. Now I like to do another little stitch to just secure it, and I'd already pre-cut my yarn because I'd worked this before when I was practicing it. There we go. So that is 2 of your motifs joined together. Okay. Now all you need to do is continue with this method for however long you want your project to be, or your collar or your edging or whatever it is you might be making. Okay, so thank you once again for watching. We'll have a look in part 4 how to do the neck edging, which I'll just show you here. So we actually make a little row of double crochets here with chains, and also some stitches which we attach the motif to the neck edging with. Okay, so it can be made into an edging rather than a collar, and all we would do is continue with 2 chains between the final row, that space there, rather than 1, but that will be made clearer in part 4. Okay, well, thanks again for watching. If you're not subscribed, it'd be great if you could, and if you've enjoyed the video, I'd be very pleased if you could give it a thumbs up and hit the like. Okay, thanks again. See you in part 4. Bye for now.